Welcome back to the Soulless Vet podcast. Today we are going to be talking about that DD2 moments.
Hell
I am Austin, the Soulless Johnson, and today with me is, as usual, Jason, the Mustache, the Tolbert. All right.
Wow.
Again, the topic today is what our moment with in hand felt like, and kind of the moments leading up to it, kind of those situations. Again, for viewers, if this is your first time, there will be cussing and probably some dark humor. We're authentic, real vets that are trying to just sit, chat, kind of bullshit, and being ginger is just a plus. So it's just us trying to talk, try and bring our communities together. Welcome. And before we get started, let's talk about our sponsor. Okay, so today we are sponsored by Doobie Energy. These are for the gamers out here. So Doobie Energy, it allows you to have faster reaction time paired with laser sharp focus. If you want to start winning more, Doobie made this specifically for you guys. It's their premium gaming energy drink. It helps with laser focus, brain food or food for your brain, energy of 150 milligrams of organic kefir. It doesn't have sugars, maltodextrin, artificial dyes, or fillers. It's pretty much no bullshit. And what they say is it has no crash, jitters, or ink. So, thank you, Doobie, for the sponsor. We're excited to have you guys there. Now back to today's topic.
Oh, but hold on though.
Sorry.
You guys want get an order, dude? Put in the Soulless 10% off.
Yes, I'm sorry. That was very important.
No, we gotta say something.
Yep, I'm all about safety. We're broke.
Yeah.
All right, to the topic of DD214. Jason, let's start with you. Let's talk about kind of like leading up to your DD214 moment of like realizing you wanted to get out, kind of how you felt. Well, let's just start with just how leading up to the DD.
Well, let's do this. So, all right. Okay, so I was at about 19 years. I started going and seeing the doc about it to get some of my ailments documented and what dumbass. Come to find out, I had some. Well, they said I had. So I had that. Can't deploy.
Shit
Can't
luck,
go TDY.
huh?
Yeah, that was,
Pun intended.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you can't deploy, you can't go TDY, and when you're in the military and you can't deploy, then they don't. So they said, okay, well, the doctor called me. So can you retire? I can, but I was. He said, well, retire or med. I've never been through a med board, but I've talked to other half. Kind of a pain in the ass when it comes, depending on what they want to do. But I was like, well, I'm so close. I'll just of course hit that button. Now, as soon as because you're in happy-go-lucky, you're doing your thing, and as soon as you hit that button, you're like, well, now I got a year when you go to retire. I was like, fuck, now I've got a year. You're out. What the fuck? And then, so like, but that kind of time closer and you start out process, start doing all kinds. It's like, fuck, real, right?
It comes up quick.
Yeah, it does. But when I retired, I mean, it was a happy moment because I was 20 years.
You couldn't do that 21?
I tried. They wouldn't let me. So it was like, so yeah, as soon as I went and I got that paper in hand, I mean, it was exciting because I was like, okay, I don't have to worry about doing all the stuff with military.
Yeah.
But then it was like, okay,
we'll get onto that topic.
Yeah.
Now, from my experience, I had just PCS from Fort Carson to Fort Campbell. My Fort moment, it was kind of forced on me. I was at a training event and I fucked up my shoulder bad about a months in, and just find out I pretty much destroyed my fuck. From what they told me was being a gunner for 4 years plus and just the constant mic just destroyed. So, and I know that doesn't happen to everybody, but I shot machine guns anywhere from cows to like Mark 9s, 249s, 240s, like pretty consistent while. I had just returned in January of 2019 from Afghanistan, and this was about 2020 is when they told me my shoulder's fucked. So it was kind of like a rough moment for me. They gave me my surgery about 8 months after I got my shoulder's fucked. And I had just got told literally my buddy passed away I deployed with, so I was like, well, fuck, just also find out that 80% of people who get this surgery after my surgery that they get med boarded, and they wanted to recover only in 4 months. Well, I didn't recover in the 4 months that they wanted me to. after my surgery. And so they were like, well, you got two options. You can either get med boarded or you can change your MLS. And I was so pressed at that time frame because everything I wanted to be part of the 101st. I wanted my career to take off. You know, I was hoping for all these things, and also my brothers that I deployed with. I felt like I kind of can be a different topic another day, but I felt like I kind of left them there.
Oh,
On so I was beating myself up with that. Then on top of like, well, this was getting close to where we started pulling out of Afghan type of situations are happening. I was just really depressed with my buddy dying, all this low feeling. So I was getting really depressed. I was gaining weight that I couldn't get off because I was on a profile for my shoulder, so I couldn't do shit. So I was very limited on what I could do. I was gaining weight, so if I even did try to go the change my MLS route, somebody would have got me for height and weight. So I was kind of forced into that option of choosing the med board. Then I spent the 2 years after that going through the med. Only a year of it was how I got my rating. Roughly, it took about because I had to go to all these fucking appointments and shit, you know, help me get my rating and whatnot. Then it was a whole process. The med board process, long process. But then I also read that like, so they didn't give me a high enough percentage for my shoulder that I thought I deserved to it being my dominant arm, and so they only put me just under a certain percentage. And if I just had gotten it up to 30%, I would have been able to medic higher instead of medically separate, which are two. Yes, so it was just two. It was just literally needed that 10% because they got me at 20% for that. I needed it at 30%, and they don't do halves. They don't do 5% or anything. They go by 10% increments. So I was like, well, this is my fucking dominant arm, and I'm still struggling picking up my son. You know what I mean? So I sat there and I fought it for another year. But in the end, they kind of just said, fuck you, and did kept me at where I was. It wasn't like I was trying to get a higher percentage because I was already rated at 100%. So I was like, so what is it going to hurt if I try to get that extra 10% for my dominant arm? Because medical retirement, I could have kept TRICARE, and that would have helped my family out so much. So that's why I was fighting for the medical retirement compared to medical separation. I was trying to go for that.
Because even though I retired, I still got retirement.
Yep, right. So when you got your DD-214N, how did it feel?
Felt great, man.
Yeah,
It
because
really.
you did the 20.
I did. I mean,
it doesn't matter who you are. 20 is a long time.
it is a long fucking. So.
And in the military, that's impressive. Doesn't matter what branch. It's easier. I'm going to say it's easier on the Air Force side.
Yeah, I would.
Because they have a higher track record of people retiring after 20.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say the same.
Nonetheless, like, you did 20, so that's impressive.
Yeah.
So, like, how did it feel when you finally got that?
I would say, fuck.
Fuck.
Yeah, like fuck.
Like kind of like a surreal moment for you.
Yeah. Because like I said, that all that going up to it, it's like, you know, you're just living still in the moment and time, still working, doing all this stuff, and then you get that, and then you know it's
and just I'll have my
in
a sec, but
But I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's like, pretty much like, where's Journey gonna? Right.
The unknown, the fear of the unknown.
Yeah. So like that thing when you come in, right, not knowing, right. So it's until you get to where you need to go.
Yeah.
It's that whole.
Yeah. For me, when I got that piece of paper, I was so fucking excited because I got it at like right before lunchtime, and we were on reared. So I was like super excited about having paper, you know, but it was kind of like super surreal because like I said, in the infantry, we talk a lot of bullshit and like, fuck this, fuck that. We bitch and complain, but while still doing our jobs, but then we still re-enlist. It's a really fucked up mentality. Yes. So when I got that piece of paper, I was like, man, I've been joking about this shit way too far, too long.
Yes.
And it's like, it was kind of like that surreal moment of like, now what the fuck? Like, kind of like how the fear of the unknown is like, what the fuck's my life? I mean, I still had like 3 more days left in the army, according to my but it was still one of those things of like, wow, like I got it. Like, they can't say shit to me now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can piss off whoever the fuck I want. You know what I mean? I can't do shit. But at the same time, it was like, the army's done with you. And it's like, all right, you're kicked off to the fucking curb of the street. And you're like, so what the fuck? Everything I did for me, it was 8 years. Everything I did for the last 8 years was for what? No, like, hey, you, at least this was for me, like, I didn't get a retirement ceremony, I didn't get anything like that. I got more of, here's your DD-214, your last day's in 3 days, after the last day, I don't want to see your face again. Like, it was like somebody just slamming a door in my face, you know what I mean? And then I'm like, like the first day after my like I got out of the army, I woke up. I got to sleep in. I was like, I woke up and I was like, just sitting there. I'm like, fuck, you know what I mean? Like I got the piece of paper and I was super excited because like I've been joking about this shit forever. Then like that surreal moment hit of like now what do I do with my fucking life? Like don't get me wrong, like I was applying jobs prior to me getting it.
Yeah, same.
But I got denied like a lot of jobs because I was still in.
Yeah.
And even if I told them, like I was waiting I'm just waiting on my D214 and them to tell me when my last day is. Oh, we want you here like next week. And I'm like, oh, I can't promise that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like it was just kind of one of those things of like I got the piece of paper, I can do whatever the fuck I want. I can take me and my family wherever the fuck I want, and I don't have to tell anybody about it. You know what I mean? Like I have it's kind of like you finally have that freedom. You know, like when you watch movies with like slaves or like Braveheart of when people actually get their freedom and they don't know what to do with that freedom. It's kind of like one of those like or somebody even coming out of jail. You don't know what the fuck to do with your life because like, you were
That's all you've known.
That's all you've known for so long.
People telling you what to do, where to go,
how to piss, how to
feel.
eat.
And it's like now you're like,
now what? Like I can do legitimately wherever the fuck I want. Where do I start?
Yeah.
It was just kind of one of those things. I don't know. Was that the same shit?
Yeah.
I mean, because like I said, you were in a lot longer than I was.
I was, and I mean, the hardest part was trying to figure out
with your
once
family,
I retired. Yeah, because like I said, we were talking about staying in Texas. Really, my wife wanted a family.
And
so
see, for me, my wife's from Utah as well, and before I got my D14, we both kind of agreed that that's where we were going to move back to. My immediate family's there and there, I should say.
Yeah.
And so it was just kind of one of those things. We already planned on it, but I was waiting for my last paycheck of the army to come in. So that's what I used legitimately to back. I wasn't getting my I wasn't yet, and so I used my legitimate last paycheck from my army myself back. They weren't gonna, at least where I was at, they ripped back. So I had to move myself.
Since I retired, packed up my whole house. Well, actually, they did come in. They packed up our whole house.
Yeah.
Brought some with us. They did pack up all of our stuff.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the normal stuff with them.
Yeah.
Like a normal PCS. They did help us a bit with that. But for the most part, it, like do whatever the fuck you want. But I couldn't sell my house pretty much.
Yeah.
We were already moved back here. Our house finally.
I think we got lucky. Somebody was from Pan.
Yeah.
At the time.
I think we sold like and a half for Chris. So like that was about two. We've already been in Utah, so it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad because we got in Utah on Thanksgiving. So it was like 2 weeks after that, which was pretty nice. It was a nice Christmas. But so after you got the feel lost or anything?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because unlike some jobs, yeah, that's why I was like, I don't even.
Yeah, I felt. So for me, I felt really lost because, again, I had that really strong brotherhood, buddy, and getting out on a med board, I was feeling at the time like failed everybody, especially the guys that we lost on deployment. I just felt like big shit. I quit. Like, you know what I mean? It was just feeling like you're a quitter, you know? Like, and for me, that was a hard feeling. So I was feeling super depressed, lost. On top of that, we were living with my wife's parents' basement, with two big ass dogs, boarded our horse somewhere. For a little bit. I had toddlers at the time and still no job lined up. I had jobs for out here already. I already had done over the phone, but I didn't have a job lined up first. They called me actually right after that Christmas for up the job finally, but it was just kind of one of those moments of like, I just felt because I didn't have anything lined up. We're living with my wife's parents. So, you know, it was just kind of that feeling of like, I failed my brothers. I didn't know what to my life because like I said, I grew up in a military family since I was born. All I knew was military. So I was about 27 years old and pretty much having to restart my career, restart everything. And I'm like, what the fuck do I do? You know what I mean? It's like, I got a family that I'm trying to take care of, but I don't have shit. Like, I feel like I'm failing them because I'm not where I'm supposed to be at that age or whatever, where I thought I would be at that. So again, I was really young still, or still am, but it was like one of those things. I just felt super lost. I just failed everybody I cared about in the military. Felt like I'm failing my family that I currently have. Like I didn't know where my life was gonna go and what direction I wanted it to go. I got super depressed. So How was it? And you did 20. You're way older, so you were probably what, in your
I was
40s?
39.
39. So like you were a little bit older.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but it's still the same. Like so, retiring, not knowing what it was gonna happen. Sold our house, moved up here. We were actually living with my wife in there.
okay.
Because they don't have room, they don't have space. So we stayed in their camp, and yeah, just trying to find the leaving the military part, leaving those guys doing all that. It didn't really affect.
Okay.
Because I'd only been there, and
Like for me, it wasn't about the guys I was with, the unit I was with.
yeah,
Because it was more about the guys that because like family. And so I was,
Yeah.
and like I said, I was starting my depression last up. I was explaining like we made a brotherhood and that I was feeling
Yeah.
depression in general. Or no, that was
yeah, that was
yeah. So it was just kind of like I was already in that depression state. Then it got a little bit worse too when I quit. Does that make sense?
No, I mean, because I felt the same way. Well, so when we got here and like job, and I mean, I look back at it now, and it only took to get a job.
Yeah.
But 3 months. I mean, I did have my retirement ability.
Yeah. But
Yeah, but still, I was like fucking living in my wife's parents' camper. Like, what the fuck? Real shitty. Some people are awesome.
well, especially when you've been out on your own for so long. Like you've had now you're back with dad
Per se.
per se. You know what I mean?
And so yeah, I was down in that, but everything after I finally got a job, we still lived with them for because I retired in August, bought our house. So nothing against my in-laws, right?
Yeah,
But
I mean,
it was
honestly,
a shitty.
it's just a city situation. Like I
Yeah.
said, we've
We had our own space.
we had
for
our own
so
space for so
long.
long, and we had our own life.
Yeah.
Then we're back with mom and dad, even if it is our in-laws, right? We're back
Yeah.
with mom and dad. You're trying not to disrupt their lifestyle. You're trying not to. You don't want to be a burden on anybody.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's
that
also
was
feeling that burden.
that was a big one too.
Yeah,
The
feeling like
burden.
you're a bird on it. Then, like, I know a lot of other instances with some friend who got out, felt lost. They didn't have anybody. You know what I mean? Like, we were lucky enough to have at least some type of support for
Yeah.
us. Some people don't have anybody. So, but I think that was a pretty good topic about the DD-214 moments.
Yeah. And our experience.
Yeah, exactly. We're just going off our experience.
Anything that we talk about, generally, unless
Yep.
take
Exactly. And with that being said, if you need to reach out, people, like, don't hesitate. Especially us combat vets, we got shit in our heads that we like to hold there. Don't let the demons
down.
don't let the demons win. Link in with some of your buddies or sister brothers. Like, reach out. You don't know if they're going through a hard time. Doesn't hurt to text them. Make sure they're doing good. Text or call them. And if you need a number for yourself, just a suicide, or like you just need somebody to talk to, here's the veteran and military crisis line. You can dial 988 and then press 1, or you can text 55, or try and reach out to us. More than happy to help here. I'm not gonna say no unless I can't. Yeah, it's 100% judgment free zone. We've both done things, it's reach out. We're here to listen, to look out after each other, bring this community together. There's separation like nowadays. So I remember when I was proud of your military, proud of it. I'm saying fuck that now, fucking proud. Doesn't matter what the fuck your job was, proud of what you did. Yep. So, and thank you again for sponsoring our podcast, especially for those gamers out there. I like Gamer. I'm not as big of a gamer as Jason is, but look at Doobie, get some of that energy, especially if you're pulling those late nights. Jason, what was that code that they could use?
Yes, the code is Solus, all one word, to get your 10% off.
All right. Thank you for joining us this fine day. Again, I am Austin the Solus Johnson, and with me is
Jason the Must.
All right. See you guys next time.
Adios.